On average, professional poker players play only about 20% of hands dealt to them. This means that they can spend about 80% of their working hours in a casino, sitting, doing very little, thinking of ways to keep boredom away. And what better way to do so than by betting against each other and try earning some extra cash. What is up guys, Max here from Poker Bounty, bringing you today some of the most craziest, most insane poker prop bets that you have ever seen in the poker world. 30 nights accommodation in a Bellagio bathroom. In the midst of a prop bet one-up manship, Andrew Roble and a friend talked about living in a Bellagio hotel for 30 days straight. Another of Roble's friends, Jay Quick, decided to take it to another level, arguing that he could live in a Bellagio bathroom for 30 days. With the gauntlet thrown down, the bet was on. For a possible whopping gentleman's bet of $250,000, Jay Quick would have to spend 30 nights in a bathroom at the Bellagio without leaving the room once. Andrew lovingly referred to Jay's temporary accommodation as his prison cell. According to Roble, Quick had never gone 10 days without playing poker, so the prospect of Jay having to live in a tiny space with no human physical contact or poker seemed an impossible task. With webcam setup and strict rules on what he could do and could not do, including the following: only 400 minutes of talking time on the phone, no personal physical interaction with anyone. To make the bet even more secure, Andrew put a $5,000 bounty on Jay's head for anyone catching him breaking the rules by leaving the room. Once everything was in place, the prop bet was set in motion. In the actual room, Jay had all the creature comforts of home in the form of a Versace towel carpet, 12-inch plasma TV, and a wide collection of DVDs. The tub was filled with Chips Ahoy and other nutritious snacks common in every poker player's standard diet. Jay seemed to be in it for the long haul. After 20 days, Roble decided Quick was too good. Jay looked to be enjoying himself so much that Roble bought out of the bet for $40,000. He cut his losses early, waved the white flag, and gave Quick the victory. Amarillo Slim hits a golf ball over a mile with a hammer. Amarillo Slim referred to himself as the greatest gambler that ever lived. No one ever accused the 1972 WSOP champ of being a humble brag. He also entered into a massive number of side bets that were both weird and unbelievable. He took a bet against Evel Knievel asserting he could hit a golf ball over a mile. And if that wasn't already hard enough with a golf club, he claimed he could achieve it with a hammer. The bet was inspired by American gambler, golfer, and hustler Titanic Thompson. Taking a page straight out of Thompson's playbook, and in what seemed to be an impossible challenge, Amarillo Slim played his shot on a frozen lake and succeeded in winning his bet and taking home the money from the somewhat shocked Mr. Knievel. Mike Nori will eat $1,000 worth of McDonald's in 36 hours. It seems to be an impossible task that anyone could eat $1,000 worth of McDonald's in 36 hours. Who would even want to attempt it? Well, apparently professional poker player Mike Nori was ready to give it a shot. Mike Nori stood to win a reported $200,000 in wagers of 5-to-1 odds should he have won the prop bet. The man behind the idea is a WPT Executive Tour Director, Matt Savage. The specific stipulations were as follows. Salads can only make up $200 of the total $1,000. Hot food must constitute at least $300. Drinks are not included. All that comes with an order must be eaten, minus the Happy Meal toy, and no items can be removed from orders. Additions to meals can be requested and counted. Everything must be eaten as it is. It can't be blended. Vomiting is accepted, but it cannot be forced or happen repeatedly. Food cannot come from locations with inflated prices such as airport McDonald's. Just after $95 of food consumed, and with only a few hours left before the deadline, he threw in the towel. Brian Zembic gets paid $100,000 for breast implants. Brian Zembic, usually known as a poker player and backgammon player, got together with a group of friends. After some talking, there was $100,000 pot on the table saying he would not get breast implants size 36C or more. With the money on the table, Zembic, never to back out from a challenge, consulted a doctor and actually went under the knife to realize his rack and take off with the payoff. He reportedly still wears his pair. Women find it attractive, or so he says. In any case, $100,000 cannot be unattractive. The king plays the most massive session in online history. No list of prop bets would be complete without the king of prop bets himself, Joey Ingram, aka Chicago Joey. However, his most amazing prop bet achievement came in 2009 when he earned $30,000 that he couldn't play 50,000 hands of online poker in one day.
And for most hands played today, 50,000 hands plus I'm very excited about it. I'm ready to prove that I am the ultimate grinder in the whole entire world of the online poker.
He accomplished this seemingly impossible feat in just over 20 hours, playing 24 tables non-stop on PokerStars during that stretch.
And we just hit 50,000 hands. We played 50,002 US hands at NL 25.
One more stipulation of the bet was that he had to turn a profit during the session, which he easily did, winning over $800. Thin Man Ted Forrest. This one was so good, they did it twice. The first instance required a 250-pound Mike Matusow to lose 70 pounds in 1 year. Mike Matusow won the bet and won a $100,000 payday. Years later, he turned the tables on 5-time bracelet winner Ted Forrest after hearing him remark that he felt bloated. Forrest weighed 188 pounds at the time, by no means an outrageous number. Matusow bet Forrest he couldn't drop below 140 pounds in only a few months. Confident Ted Forrest stood no chance. Matusow laid some serious odds in Forrest's favor. Forrest stood to gain $2 million and only lose $150,000. A combination of dieting, working out, and fasting made Forrest a rich man. Also after that, Mike Matusow hung up his prop hat after his net worth shrunk along with Forrest's waist size. 30 days of quail. As a young gambler, Doyle Brunson accepted an offer to eat one fresh wild quail a day for 30 days straight. He could eat whatever he wanted, but it had to include at least one fresh wild quail a day. He made it past the halfway mark, but 17 days in, he quailed, forfeiting his $20,000 prize. Brunson claimed the richness and gaminess of the meat made it an impossible endeavor. By day 17, the quailed looked like the size of a turkey. A funny side note, prop bet master Phil Laak tried this bet with a poker pro, Leigh Mershon, after hearing Brunson tell the story. However, he did not specify that the quail couldn't be frozen. Leigh Mershon ordered 30 frozen quails and completed this one-day quail challenge for 30 days, winning $10,000. Dan Bilzerian bikes from Vegas to Los Angeles. Say what you want about Instagram celebrity Dan Bilzerian, but he gets a spot on the list for essentially risking his life to win a bet. Las Vegas and Los Angeles are separated by almost 270 miles of hot and unforgiving desert. Against all common sense and self-preservation instincts, Dan accepted a challenge to bike between two cities within 48 hours. Millionaire businessman and high-stakes player Bill Perkins bet Bilzerian $600,000 that he couldn't do it. There was an interesting side bet to this, as Rick Solomon bet Bilzerian $250,000 that he would die on the journey. If Bilzerian didn't die, Solomon would pay him the money, but if Bilzerian died, he would leave Solomon his private jet in his will. Fortunately for lovers of Instagram photos of weapons and boobs, Dan Bilzerian survived the journey and won the bet. However, it is rumored that Solomon has refused to pay his share, saying Bilzerian cheated by drafting behind a van for the final stretch. Gross's $550,000 pot at the end of the rainbow. Geoff Gross has answered the age-old question of exactly how much money it would make to have someone else design a major feature on one's body. According to Dan Bilzerian, Gross accepted a bet to have a permanent tattoo placed on his back of his friend's choosing. The friends made the gay choice of a large rainbow across his back, and Gross went all in to have it done. He still probably wears it to this day. In any case, Gross's back earned him $550,000. However, the terms of the bet stipulated that he could not have it ever removed. What Lawden thinks. Quite possibly the most iconic prop bet game among players is What Lawden Thinks. Johnny Lawden is a Norwegian professional poker player. The game was invented at the 2008 World Series of Poker Europe in London and represented the first televised instant of this type of side bet. It occurred at a featured table where Antonio Esfandiari, Phil Laak, and Johnny Lawden were seated. But the ever-ingenious and creative duo of Antonio and Phil had decided to bet on what fellow poker player Johnny Lawden's opinions would be at a given topic. In other words, what Lawden thinks about any possible subject. The original bet proposed by Laak was for $100 and asked what Johnny thinks the world record for holding your breath is. Phil's guess was 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Antonio comes back with over 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Antonio won the bet when Lawden answered 6 minutes and 25 seconds. The second Lawden thinks bet by Esfandiari was when he asked the question, how many hot dogs could be eaten in 10 minutes? Again, Antonio won with 34. So those were some of the most crazy and insane poker prop bets of the poker world. If you like this video, do leave a like, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.